Hello, welcome to my channel. My name's Natasha. This is Free Pattern Friday and I have a really nice selection of patterns for you this week. But first I would like to say hello to everyone, including all of my new subscribers. You are all welcome here. And hello to everyone that supports me every single week. I'm very happy that you stick with me and I'm loving the comments. Now, I have been thinking about different stitches this week, and I'm wanting to learn some new as I go along. As you all know, that we are doing the 3D granny square cowl here on my channel, and we're learning such a lot from doing all sorts of different stitches when it comes to doing the 3D granny squares. So I'm just trying to broaden my horizons by doing things that I'm not sure on, and some new things like the mosaic, which I mentioned last week, and some different styles of doing it. So I've been thinking along those lines, and although a few of these things that I have chosen I already know how to do, you might not. So I thought, what better way of learning something new was one, buy a free pattern so that you're not thinking, oh my gosh, I've got to actually pay for it and I may not be able to do it, but also because of the fact that it's worth giving it a go when it's only something small. So I would first of all just like you to know that I would love to know what you want me to search for, what you want to see more of, or what you would rather you didn't like to see, so that I can mix things up a bit. This is my perception of free patterns that I like, but I also think that you might like. I've had a few requests as the weeks have gone by, and I've done my best to try and accommodate those. If you're not into something, then I know obviously if you commented and said that it would only be your own original thing that maybe you're not interested in, but I would just like to make sure that I'm being fair across the board, and I want to be able to provide patterns that is useful for someone that actually needs something. Like last week it was a dragon pattern, and so I tried my best to find patterns to suit that. Obviously a lot of them, I'm just turning my light on because it's gone a bit dingy, a lot of them are paid for patterns, but there are a lot of free ones out there, and so I'm just trying to do my best and be able to provide you with a way of trying new things out for free, obviously. So without further ado, if you do think of something and you would like me to search for something which is my perception that you may not have even thought about, then comment below and I will be happy to try and source some things for you. So I'm going to start off today with a couple of pot holders. Now I know that we have done pot holders before, and lots of other channels have used them for cowls. Coco's Crochet did a cowl where where they chose topics for different things, for gifts, for Christmas and things, so you can just have a basket ready of gifts to give. And so I know that that was one of the categories, but I've mainly just chosen a couple so that if you don't know how to do the stitch, something small to be able to work up something small would be able to then See if you're able to do it, and then if you are and you like it, then maybe you could make it into a blanket or a shawl or something like that, that then would enable you to be able to already do that stitch and then move on further. So I've got the waffle pot holder to start with, and this one is the back of the stitch, and the other one, which you can't really see very well, looks like the front of the stitch. But I chose this because it really is it's a bit of a yarn eater, but it's very much a very thick and quite a wholesome pattern stitch to learn. And if it was a pot holder, then you know that it's quite substantial and it wouldn't go through onto the table if you had a hot pan on it, or whatever. So I personally love the waffle stitch. I really do love to work it up, but I wanted to show it just in case anyone didn't realise that it was there and you weren't aware of it. There are lots and lots of YouTube tutorials for different stitches as well, so if you aren't a pattern person and you're more visual, then there is always that. But the information for it, for this particular one, is used with a 3mm hook, and they're saying to use 3 skeins of the Friends cotton 8x4. Obviously cotton would be a good choice to use because of it being very sturdy. I wouldn't say that you couldn't do it in DK or anything like that, because you know, it being acrylic, it is quite versatile. But they say about the pattern is that it's thick, gorgeous and stylish pot holder in the waffle pattern, crocheted in 2 strands of the rainbow yarn, which is available in a wide range of lovely colours. Again, you don't need to use their yarn, but obviously it's their pattern, so they are actually trying to promote their own yarns. Find your favourite and design your own beautiful pot holder. There's a hashtag for social media, and there is a link to the yarns if you want to buy it on there. And if you have any questions about the pattern, you can email them at support@hobby.com, and please make sure that you include the pattern's name and number if you want to be able to have some help or advice on it. So that is the waffle stitch one. And then I found, let me just put that one down there. Then I found a corner to corner one, and again, if you're unfamiliar with corner to corner, and it is quite a tricky thing to get used to at the beginning, this is going to be a good place to start because it's very small and you don't need to be worrying about the larger element. And also, if you're practicing, you want to practice colour work, you can always change colours on each row if you want to learn that with this stitch. Once you've actually managed to get the grasp of the way that the little cubes go, or squares, whatever you want to call them, then it's quite easy to manage. And I personally love this, and I've done lots of colour work graphs in these. A lot of you will have seen my Christmas blanket that I made, and I had to redo the snowman, and I did that on one of my videos as well. So it is a lovely stitch, and once you've got to the grasp of it, it is quite easy. Now the instructions or the information about this pattern are that it's corner to corner and it's worked in the following stitches. You have a chain, a half double crochet and a slip stitch. Now what they call the mini C to C is the half double crochet, which is what this is. And if you want the full version of it, which is slightly bigger, and I would say more square, is just using double crochets. And obviously I use American terms, so that's what it is in American terms. As the name also states, the pattern is worked from one corner to another. Corner to corner consists of little squares. You expand on each row. So you start off with 1, and then you have 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. And then when you've got as wide as you need, then you start decreasing. So then it would go from, say if you wanted to go only to 6 rows, and then you go from 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the 1, which makes it then the square pattern. Which means that then you get to 1 more square for each row worked, and then the same goes for decreasing because you have 1 more square less, which is basically what I was just explaining. And then it goes straight into the pattern. But the materials that they say that that you would need to use is what are they saying they're using? It's a 5mm hook and some ribbon, hobby ribbon, 30 centimeters of leather strap, which I'm assuming is this bit here, for hanging it up, and then some rivets, obviously, to put the strap onto, and a leather hole punch, but that's optional. And then you can get the yarn on the hobby website if that's what you want to use, but if not, then you can use any. I do suggest that for pot holders, cotton is a good idea, but I have done it personally in DK and it's worked out fine, because as long as it's quite a thick stitch, it'll be fine. The measurement of the pot holder is 20 by 20 centimeters, and you use approximately 190 grams per set. So I'm assuming you can make 2 by that if the set is the what's pictured. So there you go. That one is just for a corner to corner one. And now we're going to move over to a Yarnsmiths pattern, which is a moss stitch cushion cover. Now, I've talked about moss stitch quite a lot, but the reason why I tried this is because I went on to have a look to see what Yarnsmiths patterns there were, and I quite liked the way it worked up, and it's quite easy if you haven't learnt the moss stitch, and especially in the square. They're saying to use a chunky yarn, but any yarn is fine, and this is for a beginner, and it's the featured designer is Melly Crochet, and the cushion width is 14 inches and the length is 14 inches, and the pattern instructions is made working in rounds with the right side of the work always facing you. You do not turn the square over between rounds, but keep the right side facing you when joining new yarn colours on each round. And this one is UK terms, but there is also American terms there as well, which I think is a good idea. So it's all self-explanatory in the pattern, so if you like that and you are wanting to give that a go, then that is something to bear in mind. Sticking with the Yarnsmiths, I thought this would be a lovely idea for a child's room, or just if they've got like a kitchen play area or somewhere like that, which is what I thought of it for. And that is some ice cream garland to have, especially if they want to play ice cream sellers. And I thought of this personally for our nursery at school, but I just thought it was a really quirky idea, and it's using the new pebble haze DK that Yarnsmiths have just brought out, and I thought that would be a lovely idea, and it's a lovely new way to be able to use their new yarn. I'm sorry about my throat, it seems to be getting croakier and croakier. I woke up this morning and I thought, oh, I think it's better, but it's getting worse and worse, I think, as the time goes on. But never mind, I'm going to carry on and hopefully we'll get through. The ice cream garland materials and measurements are 11.5 centimetres, which is 4.5 inches, and they're saying that Yarnsmiths pebble haze and pebble haze prints, you need a 2.5mm needle, a crochet hook then, and a yarn needle. And the the photo is using the shades marble, Senite, red serpentine, Chardonnay, I think it is. Don't butcher me, but I'll it's written there, so go along and have a look if you like to have the look of it. Fluorite, petalite, and saltburn. But I love the fact that the brownie colour does look like an ice cream cone, especially the waffle ones. I thought that would that was quite cool to be able to make that look realistic. And I just thought that these were quite a nice thing to show you. There's not a lot else I can tell you really, apart from every single row of the pattern, and I don't want to be sitting here doing that because otherwise we'll be here forever. But it says, please note that the limitations of the printing process means that the actual colour will not always precisely match the colours in the photograph. And use only the Yarnsmiths yarn specified. We do not accept responsibility for any imperfect item. If another brand is used, the quantities in yarn stated are based on the average requirements and are therefore approximate. Well, you're not going to moan. To me, I don't see the point in moaning to them if the pattern doesn't work out right, if you're not actually using their specified yarns. Of course, we just take the chance when we talk about using another yarn when we're looking at patterns and things, but generally it works up fine. And something like this, it doesn't matter if it works up smaller or larger to me, but of course it's just basically to make you aware of that, really. And the featured designer is Hooked on Candy, and it is for a beginner. So if you fancy having a go at that, then please do. That one's part of that one, so I need to put that one down. Okay, now this is the staying with the Yarnsmiths. This is an intermediate, and it's using Snug as a Bug. Now, of course, you don't need to use Snug as a Bug, but if that's what they're saying to use, and obviously it would work up big enough to have a dog to be able to use it without using too much yarn, I suppose. It's called a pet cocoon, and the measurements are 71 centimetres or 28 inches in approximately, and Yarnsmiths Snug as a Bug Big this uses 5 of colour A and 3 of colour B, so it is quite a hefty amount of yarn, but of course something so snuggly for your dog to be curled up in, or even a cat if you if you have cats and you still want them to do things, because or you to have the same sort of thing, because my cat will very often curl up in our washing bags. We use the big IKEA shopping bags for our wash bags, and I very often find one of our cats in there, and that isn't very comfortable at all. So obviously, if we just call it a pet bed, I think that would cover all areas. You just need to know that the crochet stitches double crochet 2 together, and as long as you know that repeating the rounds and things like that, and you know how to do that, then that would be fine. Instructions given for the smallest size. The larger size is given in brackets. Where only one figure is given, this applies to all sizes. Please note that limitations of the printing process may actually mean that the actual colour will not always precisely match the colours in the photographs, and it is important to use the Yarnsmiths yarn specified. They do not accept responsibility, basically like the other pattern that I read out. But again, you wouldn't really moan about that if you're not going to use the yarn specified, but it's there for your information so that they are not going to take responsibility for it. So basically, if you do have a complaint about it, then just don't email them. And the tension, it is important to check your tension before commencing the project. It's 5 double crochets and 3.5 rows, which equate to 4 inches. Abbreviations are in UK terms, and that is literally all I have. The email is sales@yarnsmiths.co.uk, but again, remember, they don't take responsibility for anything wrong with their patterns unless you're using it, and I guess you would have to prove that you're using the Yarnspirations yarn with it. So now I'm going to show you a couple of yarn baskets. One is a teddy. Not sure whether I did this back along or not, because I know that I featured a little cute thing like this, but I thought I would show you one, a choice of 2, one being a cutesy one and one not. But I think this would be a really good thing to put all your little yarn scraps in, because it would look lovely if I had one back there sitting, and to put all my yarn scraps in, or even just the little bits of yarn that you need for your little scrap projects, because I've always got bits of black and brown and other little tiny bits that I need to use, and I think that would make a lovely thing. Or even just to put a child's cars or something in, or bits and pieces that they want to have to keep in a cute little basket like this. Anyway, we have when crocheting in a spiral, there will be an extra stitch in each round. This makes the pattern shift as it should. And then they just explain how to make the basket and then how to make the ears. The eyes are placed between rounds 13 and 14 with 1 stitch in between. And the pattern, the pattern is teddy basket with a PU leather base, and they're using Happy Chunky Fine. If you want to use that, then it's like a Chanel yarn. There will be a link in the pattern to be able to go and do that. And the materials, the base is 17 centimeters and the eyes are 10 millimeters, and the crochet hooks are a 3 and a 4. So there isn't really a lot more I can say about that one. But again, I will put the link in the description box below. And then the other basket is the waffle basket. Now I love this, and this is the one I would choose. I really do love to do the waffle basket, waffle stitch. I haven't done it for such a long time, and yes, it is a yarn eater. But if you've got a project that you want to, and obviously there's some examples in the picture there of using crochet hooks or balls of yarn, and it's just a really lovely stitch, and it does actually make it look like a basket, and I love that. So the small one is 3.5 by 3.5, and the large one is 5.5 by 5.5. It takes about half an hour, they're saying, to make a basket like this, and it's a difficulty level of easy, and the estimated cost they're saying is $2 to $5. But if you're using up scrap yarn, it doesn't matter. They're saying to use acrylic yarn, DK or light worsted, and they're saying to use the khaki colour, but you can use any colour, and you could use any sort. The tools you'll need is 2.5mm hook, a tapestry needle, and some fabric starch spray. And I'm guessing that would be to make it stiff. This pretty crochet woven basket is perfect for anyone who would want to store little things in one place. The written pattern comes in 2 sizes, 3.5 and 5.5 inches, with a round base with the basket weave stitch as the body of the basket. Not only are they great for storage, but you can also have wonderful decoration for your home. You can place them near your home's entrance and store keys and wallets. To store keys and wallets. In your room to store makeup, socks or underwear, or on a tabletop for stationery and other little items. Oh, let's not forget something very important during this pandemic. It was obviously a pattern created for this. Anyway, you can also use it to keep all of your handy sanitizers in place. It is the perfect size for it. So then it goes, there's nothing more to say really, because it goes straight back into the pattern again then. But it says on the front, it says, throughout the years, some of us have developed a habit of leaving things on table countertops and stuff items into kitchen cabinets or room closets as a convenient way to unclutter, which means unseen is deemed to be clean, right? Well, I know that there is never enough storage to keep your home organised. It has been a while since we've crafted and written something that can help you. So there it is. And again, I really do like that, and I think that would be definitely one that I would choose for myself. Now, whilst we're still talking about different crochet stitches, I have found an old cal that is by Hook and Learn, and it was in the Simply Crochet magazine a good while ago now, but I saw this particular stitch, and I wondered whether there would be a free pattern for it so I could show you, and I managed to find it. But this particular one is part of the cowl, like I say, on this particular blanket, it's a sampler blanket, so you can learn all sorts of different stitches. Now, a lot of them are free, but some of the weeks you had to pay 99p for, or otherwise you could buy the whole e-booklet for £7.50. Now, obviously Free Pattern Friday is all about free patterns. I wanted to show you this basically for the Apache Tears stitch, but there are other stitches, and I will show the free ones in my other videos, just so that you can learn the different stitches if you don't already know them. But I really am interested in doing this, Cal, so I might well do it in the future. Now, we can all say that, can't we? Because the list is getting longer and longer and longer of things that I want to do. But I just want to broaden my horizons a little. And I would love to learn how this is actually made. Because it does look a bit like mosaic, and I do like that, which is what I mentioned last week. But still, there is a little tiny bit of the pattern of the blanket just there. Now, like I say, a lot of them are free. I think it's the first 4 weeks, and then you pay 99 pence for the next few. So this one was the main one that I wanted to show you, and that was Apache Tears. And if you're like me and you hadn't tried it, then at least you've got the opportunity to do it. And it doesn't necessarily need to be even this size. You could just do it as a pot holder or something, just enough, or a dishcloth, just enough to be able to learn what the stitch is all about. But it says this version of the blanket is made in Shapier's stone washed extra large. Apache Tears is the 9th stitch to learn in our Simply Crochet Hook and Learn Cal. There are 3 more stitches to come, which will take you through the step-by-step, making this the perfect project for beginners. This is the 9th pattern, which I've just read, but it's saying it again. This is the 9th pattern in our Hook and Learn blanket crochet along, which we're running over a year. Perfect for beginners and fun for more experienced crocheters too. You'll learn how to do 12 attractive stitches, and then we'll show you how to put them all together in the last issue this month. Try Lucy's Apache Tears stitch. Choose between the beautiful soft shades of Stone Washed XL or the bright tones of the Colour Crafter, or go mad and make both. Please note that if you're making the Colour Crafter version, you will need to make 2 Apache Tear blocks. Now, of course, you don't need to use Shapier's yarns at all. I just got it from their website. Well, actually, it's on their website, but I got this from Ravelry because I first saw it on Ravelry because I was searching for the Apache Tears on Ravelry. Then that's when I came across the cowl, so that's why I went over there to have a look and see what it was all about. To make one Apache Tears block, you need to have Shapier's Stone Washed XL. Of course you don't need to, but you can use anything. But this is what the pattern does suggest. It's 70% cotton and 30% acrylic, and it's 50-gram balls, and you need 1 of each. Because as you can see, there's 2 colours there, and you need a 5.5mm hook. There's 13 double crochets and 13 rows to measure 10 by 10 centimeters or 4 by 4 inches over the pattern using a 5.5 hook. The block measures 20 by 40 centimeters or 8 by 16, and you need to make 2 if you're using the Colour Crafter. You will also need a 4mm hook if you're using the Colour Crafter as well. But of course, any DK is fine, or any cotton is fine, depends on what you want to do it in. The notes say that the square has been designed by a left-hand designer. If you are right-handed, and the block will work up on the reverse of the image. All stitches are worked on the right side, fasten off at the end of each row and rejoin the yarn in the first stitch on the right side. All double crochets are worked into the back loop of the stitch, and all double trebles are worked into the front loop of the first 3 rows below, front loop of the stitch 3 rows below. I'm just intrigued, so I will get round to giving it a go. And then there is a hashtag for showing your work on the Hook and Learn social media for Instagram or for Facebook. And there is Facebook links and things like that. So what I'll do is I'll put the link in the description box below for the shape ears, Cal, and then you can please yourselves if you want to join the Facebook groups and things, because I know a lot of people choose not to. So that is the Apache Tears block, and you can make it into a blanket if you do so wish. Oh dear. Right, sticking with Yarnsmiths, I bought in my yarn haul Yarnsmiths Free Spirit in Aran, and I also bought 2 Free Spirit ones and 1 Daydream one. But this is a pattern for the Free Spirit Aran, and look how pretty that is. This is a C2C blanket, but oh my lord, I just love it, and I don't worry about the colour jogs or anything like that, which I was with the oh, hang on, bring my finger back. With this one, the colour changes way too often, and you get a patch of white in the middle of green and things, and it was just putting me off when I was trying to do a blanket with it. But this, I think this is actually designed to be like it anyway, and because it has the flecks of the different colours in, I don't think I'm really that bothered. And oh, it's just really, really lovely. And Sally from Nanny Moon's Crochet was talking to me about this as well, so I thought I would give it a go and show you all, because isn't that just fabulous? This is called the Drizzle Corner to Corner blanket, and the size is 95 by 122 centimetres or 37.5 by 48 inches, and you need 8 balls. I mean, I haven't got 8 balls, but that would make a really luscious, massive, great big blanket. And the shade that is photographed is malachite, I think I want to say. I don't know how to pronounce it. But anyway, please note that the limitations of the printing process may alter the actual colour. You will not precisely match the colours in the photograph. Well, we know that, don't we? And it says important, only use the Yarnsmiths yarn specified. They will not take responsibility. Well, we've already spoke about that, so I don't need to say it again. And it basically means, again, corner to corner means that you start off with 1 block, and then the second row has got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth. And the size, just trying to see if it gives me the size. I think there's 61 before you start decreasing. So anyway, once you have 1 shell left, fasten off and then weave in the ends. I've already said to you about the fact of when you increase until you want to get to the widest part of your blanket, and then you decrease. But I just think it's a really, really lovely pattern, really good way of being able to show off all the colours. So I had to show you. Now, sticking with the blanket, this is a new stitch, although you can't really see it that well. It's called a boxed shell stitch. That is the diagram. And this, I don't know if it will focus in or not that well. But I just saw it and it was new to the website. I think I got this from Hobby still, or might have been Wool Warehouse. I don't know. I'll check anyway, and then I'll put it in the description box below. But the finished measurements are the length 47 inches and the width is 34 inches. They're saying to use Premier Yarns puzzle, but again, you don't need to. It's 100% acrylic and 200 grams. And you need 4 balls. And the colourway for this in the picture is Sunny Sky. And you need to use a 6mm hook, or the size obtained size that you need to obtain the gauge. The gauge is 4 shells and by 6 rows, which is 4 inches in the boxed shell pattern. The techniques are chains, double crochets, double crochet 3 together, and single crochet. And the stitch guide is that each shell has 9 double crochets in designated stitch, which is 1 shell. And the boxed pattern is multiples of 8 stitches plus 2. You start off by chaining 146, and then you put a border on afterwards. So all in all, it makes quite a big, although yes, I'd say quite a big throw. I think it would cover a 2-seater sofa at least. I'm sorry about the picture, it doesn't give it very well. But I searched the rest of the pattern as well and it didn't really have one in. But I like the fact that it has got a diagram for those of you that want to follow a diagram better than written instruction. And now we're going to go over to, we're going to stick first of all to with the Premier pattern, and that is for a 3, 6 or 12 month little dress for a little girl. Now it almost looks like a granny stitch, but not quite, and I'm quite disappointed that the picture didn't come out very well. Oh, I don't know if that really shows it that much. Anyway, like I say, the sizes are 3, 6 or 12 months. And I think actually it does go up to 2 years or 4 years, but I don't know if it means 2 toddler or 4 toddler, because it's got a 2T and a 4T. Anyway, finished measurements are chest 17 3/4. It must go up to 2 years and 4 years maybe, because it says 23 and 25 inches as well. And then the length is from 9 3/4 to 18 inches. They're saying to use Premier Yarns Dotty, which is 100% acrylic. You need to have 2 balls for the larger sizes, or 1 ball for the smaller sizes, and a 4mm hook, a tapestry needle. The gauge is 18 single crochets to 20 rows, which equates to 4 inches. Save time and check your gauge, it says. Skills techniques used in the pattern is chains and slip stitches, double and single crochet, foundation, single crochet, sew buttons and crocheted fabric, and working in the round. So if you can understand all that, I think you'll be fine. the foundation single crochet is chaining 2. You insert the hook into the second stitch from the hook, yarn over, pull up the loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, 1 chain made, and then pull through 2 loops, and that's 1 single foundation crochet made. So you can read all that when you get there, really. And then it's you need to know what a picot stitch is and a puff stitch. The pattern notes are that this dress is worked from the top down with raglan shaping, whatever that means. This dress is intended to fit with little or no ease on the chest. Choose a size that is close to the actual chest measurements. So again, I'm sorry about the rubbish pattern, but not rubbish pattern, but rubbish picture of the pattern, so you couldn't really see. Okay, so now we've just got 2 items left before I go over to the amigurumi, and that is a colour block t-shirt on the hobby website, and the skill level is intermediate. The sizes are small, medium, large or extra large. 4mm hook, sewing needle and scissors are required. You can buy the yarn with the link stated in the pattern, and it says that the yarn is Cotton King's Pool Skein cotton in colours white, grey and Bordeaux. But I like the shape, and I like the fact it hasn't got sleeves because I worry about sleeves. But yeah, so it's not too bad. Now the abbreviations are half double crochet and decrease, and the pattern notes are that the chain 2 at the beginning of the row counts as the first double crochet. The numbers for sizes medium, large and extra large are written between the brackets, and the gauge is 18 half double crochets to 10 centimeters, and 13 rows equals 10 centimeters. The colour blocks t-shirt is very eye-catching and perfect if you want to experiment with colours, and you can wear it as a t-shirt or even a vest over a shirt for the cooler days. Good idea. The pattern is by Katrina Crochet. And this one is a tip to tip shawl and the yarn is called Carnival for this colourway. But of course it doesn't matter if you've got some yarn that you want to use up that is stripy or whatever. It would do the same thing, but I love the shape and I love the ease of it. And seeing as I'm making the kaleidoscope shawl at the moment, which you would have seen on my Wednesday video, I quite like how straightforward this one is, and I'm not saying that the other one wasn't, of course, but this one I just like the shape, and I like the fact that you could have it around your neck and then the other bits hanging down. And this one measures 210 by 57 centimeters, a 5.5mm hook. You can order the yarn in the link in the pattern, and it uses 4 balls, so you need roughly 400 grams. The pattern says 325 grams, but obviously you've got 75 grams to play with, and it's better obviously to have more than less. The gauge is approximately 15 stitches per 8 rows, which gives you 10 by 10 centimeters. And as long as you know how to double crochet in American terms, then you'll be fine. You'll be able to make it, because that's all it is. And I love it. I really, really love it. So I wanted you to know. Okay, so sorry, I need to reach my water again. I'm at 49 minutes already. Okay, so let us get do that one. Where's that one come from? Ooh. Oh, I see. Okay. It's sorry, my patterns have got mixed up. There we go. Right. Okay. So the first one is some crocheted numbers. Now I like this idea for someone, for a nursery or something like that, or even just grandchildren if you've got young children yourselves, to crochet some numbers, and then children can play and learn at the same time whilst they're playing, and they can make up all sorts of numbers by just doing these numbers, you know, and make up all of the numbers up to 100. All you need is an extra 0, you know, and maybe an extra 1 if you wanted to have them separate and then get to 10. It's fine. But I just really like the idea of learning through play, and as you know that I work in early years myself, and I just think it would be a really lovely idea to have a homemade touch, and for them to be able to recognise numbers whilst playing safely with something soft. So I wanted to show you it. Now the pattern designer is Lebre Tel Mills. Now I've probably butchered that, but it is down there. I'll put it down in the description box below anyway, as I usually do. And the designer for this pattern suggests to use Friends Cotton 8x8 for each colour. Again, you can use cotton, but DK is fine, and it will do just the same job. To make them in single colour, you will need 4 skeins of Friends Cotton 8x8, a crochet hook 4mm, stuffing, darning needle and scissors. Yarn, there's the Friends Cotton is 100% cotton, but again it doesn't matter really what yarn you use. If you've got any problems with the pattern, then you can email them at support, but this is hobby, and they don't say, oh, you know, we don't take responsibility. But just remember, if you're not using the yarn, you need to just make sure that you're saying, I haven't used cotton for this, but the pattern, you know, if the pattern's wrong for any reason, then you can actually let them know, I suppose. Anyway, the measurements for each number is 8 centimeters or 3.15 inches, and it's wide, and then height is 11 centimeters, which is 4.35 inches. The pattern information for these crocheted numbers are perfect for stimulating your child. Teach them names of each number, as well as the basics of mathematics, was having fun with your little ones. The bright colours and playful shapes will attract them for sure. This pattern is for beginner friendly, and you will crochet each number twice. Then you'll single crochet through both pieces to join and stuff it as you go. There's a hashtag for social media at hashtag hobby123crochet. There's a link for the yarn in the pattern, as it always is on the hobby websites, and you can choose whatever colours you like, of course, and then as long as you know how to single crochet and crochet 2 together and increase, you'll be fine. But I just wanted to show you it because I thought it was a really good idea. Now next we have a Dino mobile. Now if you are going to purchase the yarn for this through the hobby link. The pattern colours that they use for this pattern, some are discontinued, because when I went to download the pattern, it said that the colour choices may be discontinued for this. So they will probably have replaced it with something, or otherwise you could just use different colours. But I thought it was really cute to have little dinosaurs like that hanging from a mobile. And so I just wanted to show you. The skill level is intermediate. The crochet hook needed is 2.5 millimeters. The approximate size of finished dinosaur is 11 by 7 centimeters. You need some pins, black embroidery thread, stuffing, sewing thread, sewing needle, safety eyes if you're using them is 6 millimeters, but of course you can also embroider them. You need a metal ring 20 centimeters, 4 silicone beads 18 millimeters, 4 silicone beads of 18 millimeters, 8 silicone beads of 15 millimeters. The yarn that they use is baby organic cotton, and the abbreviations that you need for this pattern that you need to know is just single crochet, work 2 in the same space when it's inclusive, and put 2 together to decrease, and a slip stitch. To purchase the yarn, they'll give you the link if you want to purchase it, but if not, then you can use anything, I think. Just hold on one moment. Sorry about that, there was someone at the door. Now, so yes, if you don't want to use cotton, I wouldn't imagine that it would be any different using DK. I do all of my amigurumi in DK, so I wouldn't see that there was a problem. And so that is the Dino mobile. Next we have Willy the worm. Now, I chose this one just because I have seen a temperature blanket done in a snake. And so that's what made me think of it. And I thought, what a clever idea. You could not, you can just have a worm. You don't need to have a snake. Anyway, you could just basically do all the, just do 2 lines or however many rows you wanted, because it's only a small diameter for the temperatures. And what a lovely colourful worm he would be. But for this pattern is 12.6 inches in length. Of course, you can carry on going if you're doing it as a temperature blanket. And this is for a level beginner, and it's recommended crochet hook of 2.5 millimeters, embroidery needle and some black yarn, 2 safety eyes if you're using them, which are 8 millimeters, and some fibre fill. They recommend to use rainbow cotton 8/4, but of course, even if you're using DK, it doesn't matter. But I just wanted to show you it because I thought it would be a lovely idea. And now we're going to move on to Kate the cat. Now, this one, it's a white background and it's a white cat, so it doesn't really show up very well on the photo, but her face was so cute that I wanted to show you it. And the skill level is beginner, crochet hook of 2.5, the height is 14.5 inches, 37 centimeters. A small piece of black scrap yarn for the eyebrows, 2 safety eyes for 6 millimeters if you're using them, 2 buttons at 12 millimeters, and some stuffing. They use cotton, but then a lot of amigurumi is done in cotton, and that's why they suggest cotton. But I do quite well in DK, as you've seen, and so I think it would be fine either way. And there's a link to buy the yarn if you want to do that. but that's basically about it. The information and the tips are always stuff the head and body firmly, always stuff between the head and the body as you sew the head on to avoid a wobbly head, and work tightly to avoid holes between the stitches. All pieces are worked into the round except for the bow and the pants. Of course, you don't really need to use the pants, but if you want to, then that's fine. I just love how cute her face was, and so had to show you. And the thing is that it's a shame that the writing pokes through, but just had to show you that if you wanted to do a cute little cat. And then this one here I've had in my stash for a very long time, and I saw it on the hobby website, so I thought, oh well, I've already got that, so it'll save me printing it out. And that is the sunburst, the sunflower crochet pattern, and the designer is Little Ellie's, and I thought that was really cute. Now there is a lot of sewing on all the little bits and pieces, but take it gradually. That's what I would say. Just a little bit at a time and you'll be fine, if that's what you're worrying about and that's what stops you. Anyway, the materials are rainbow cotton 8/4, but of course again you don't have to use cotton. You can always use yarn if you want to, DK yarn if you want to. There's a 2mm hook, but again, for amigurumi I always use less than what they say on the ball band, but this is cotton and they're saying 2mm hook. I generally do all my amigurumi in a either a 2.75 or a 3.25 hook. And they're saying safety eyes of 10mm if you're using them, but of course you can embroider them anyway. Some stuffing, a needle, stitch markers, scissors and white thread for sewing. The measurements are 22 centimeters or 8.6 inches. And Sunburst the sunflower is a fun crocheted friend who spreads joy and sunshine. Now I love sunflowers, so that's the reason why I chose this one. Just very, very cute. Okay, so now last week I showed you a rhino and a teddy bear from the website Craft Passion. Now these are the dungarees that the rhino wore, and so I wanted to show you that in case you wanted to make them. And they are saying that it only takes half an hour, and also the difficulty is for beginner. Crochet patterns to make little overalls or dungarees fit for the stuffed animals and amigurumi, or to make them for your own stuffed toy. The widest hip girth is 13 inches, the leg is 8 inches and the length is 5 inches. You may adapt the pattern to fit the size of your stuffed animal or doll. These overalls crochet pattern could fit a newborn baby too, so if you know how to adapt it, it will be different to adapt it with different crochet tension. Kids love to dress up their dolls, be it their stuffed animals, Barbie dolls or superhero figurines. So are you ready to make some tiny outfits? Head down to learn more about the crochet overall pattern for our stuffed friends. And on the front it says, if you're a stranger to the name overalls, then you might be familiar with the word dungarees, which is the UK name, or bib suspenders and pants. Even though certain countries may name them differently, they're essentially the same thing. Overalls or dungarees are a pair of sturdy trousers with a bib or a bib-like piece of strap attaching them. This garment is mainly worn by factory workers. Anyway, I thought it would be nice to show you, because obviously if you want to do the rhino, or I think there was an elephant as well. They would fit them too. So I wanted to show you that just as a little extra. I'm just going to plug my phone in because otherwise it might die. Hold on. There we go. Right. And then on the bear, which I showed last week, I have printed off the pyjamas and the hat. Isn't that so cute? I love it a lot. It doesn't have to be yellow if your colour isn't yellow, but oh, isn't that so adorable? It is, it says, remember Tad, the crochet teddy bear, the free pattern that we shared last week. We also promised to share the latest 3 outfits that we've designed for him, including a pair of onesie crochet pyjamas and sleep hat set. We have fulfilled the promise and are excited to present this adorable new additions to Tad's wardrobe. Along with the cozy crochet pyjamas and sleep hat, we also have a casual yet stylish striped crochet top and whimsical sailor suit costume crochet pattern. Each outfit comes complete with its own detailed pattern and instructions, ensuring that it's easy to recreate these adorable ensembles for all of your amigurumi crochet animals in the Animal Wildlife Collection, or huggable stuffed animals of similar size. It's 19 inches head circumference. The chest is 13.5 inches. The hips are 20 inches. Armholes of 6 inches. Sleeve length 4 inches and length 8.5 inches to the crotch line, and 10 inches for the full length. So I just had to show you that if you were going to do the bear and you wanted something to dress him in, then there is clothes also, and that is Craft Up Passion. But I will put the description box to put the patterns in the description box. Sorry. So I wanted to show you those. Now I'll also have Bob the giraffe, and he has his own little backpack and hat as well, but you don't have to do the additional things if you don't want to. The height is 28 centimeters or 11.2 inches when sitting on his bottom, and the pattern information is always stuff the head and body family, always stuff between the head, and so as you sew the head on oh my goodness me, always stuff between the head and the body as you sew the head on to avoid the wobbly head. Sew the head on with small firm stitches to avoid that it tilts, and then work tightly to avoid holes between the stitches, and all pieces are crocheted on in the round apart from the cap and the rucksack. There's a hashtag for social media. There are technique links if you don't know how to use the stitches that they are asking you, so that's really good because of the fact you have got help all the way along. They're saying to use Friends Cotton 8x8, which is 100% cotton, but again, DK is fine. And the hook size is 2.5 millimeters. You need some a piece of black scrap yarn for the cap, a piece of black red scrap yarn for the tassel, a piece of white scrap yarn for the eyes and the rucksack, metal wire, safety eyes 5 millimeters, and some fibre fill. So there he is. And then going back to the Craft Passion website, I found some mice. Now, cuteness overload just about to come. Aren't they just adorable? And look at that cheese. Honestly, you could just do the whole lot. And there's the mummy one right at the back. But look at those babies. Aren't they so cute? The crochet baby amigurumi mice. The pattern was last updated on the 9th of December 2022. And you need to have these cute, playful little crochet baby amigurumi mice ever caught your attention when we premiere them in the Crochet Mouse Mama pattern. We promised to share the free crochet pattern with her pups. So here are the 3 Mouseketeers crochet baby mice. We heard someone asking about the cheese, and we have the cheese pattern updated as well. And if I just turn it over a moment, it says craft supplies and tools, what you need to do to prepare to crochet this sweet little amigurumi mouse. You need some grey yarn and some pink. I used the stash yarn. It says from the Crochet Mouse 6mm black domed eye or 6mm safety eyes if you prefer, and of course some polyester stuffing. We're using 2.5mm crochet hook to crochet and a tapestry needle to sew up the parts. Other tools you'll need are scissors, pins and markers. For all the material and the tools, you'll produce a 4-inch tall finished crochet baby mouse. You can subscribe to Craft Passion and then you'll be able to get all the patterns sent to you there, and they'll let you know if there comes anything new. But isn't he just so cute? I just had to show you the baby mouse. Now, another thing that's really cute, and I love pigs, is Pegilop pig. Now look at that. Isn't that just something else? I love it. We've never had to worry about Pegilop fitting in with her new friends because she is a social butterfly. Her intelligence and her attention to detail have brought the amigurumi community closer than ever before. Her ears are always pricked up, which makes her an excellent listener. With the addition of this adorable stuffed pig to our crochet animal wildlife collection, we have now a total of 20 crochet animal designs. But isn't that lovely? I love the fact that there's patches, because it's not just pink, and the little trotters, and oh, it's just so cool, so lovely. He is, oh, hang on, stands up. This pig is suitable. This crochet pig amigurumi is suitable for intermediate skilled crocheters. However, avid beginners should be able to crochet this cute pig as well. Depending on how well versed you are in crochet, the project may take roughly 2 days to complete. Remember, it's okay to go slow. It stands at 11 inches tall. This amigurumi pig, Pegilop, is the perfect huggable stuffed animal. Simply stuff your pig tightly to give it a good shape. Besides having some artistic dirt spots, Pegilop, the crochet pig, has a pink coloured body with unique grey coloured hooves. Pig hooves, like human nails, need regular trimming and special care to avoid overgrowth and lameness. It is important because their cloven hooves keep them balanced as they walk through their favourite mud pool. And there he is again with a basket on his head. or her head. And then on this one it says, take your time to read thoroughly through the amigurumi pig pattern before beginning, and doing so will ensure that you don't fasten at the wrong end, the wrong round, or use the incorrect crochet stitch. The necessary crochet stitches are the chain stitch, the single crochet, and the increase and decrease of the single crochet stitch. As I don't know what I've done with the rest. I might have already read it. The pages, I think, were in the wrong order. But I just love it. I absolutely love it, and I really wanted to show you. And of course, I couldn't really show you the mummy pig without the baby piglets, could I? Look at those. Aren't they so cute? Really, really cute. And it says, being the firstborn of the litter, Pow Pow is courageous, responsible, and protective over her siblings. She can sense danger easily and would do anything to keep her brothers and sisters out of harm's way. While she may sometimes come off as naggy and bossy, her siblings understand that it's just how she showers them with love and care when their mother isn't around. Pow Pow is the one that they turn to when they need help. Oh, cute. And then it says, can't tell the pink coloured amigurumi piglets apart? Then just look at the shape of their belly buttons. Pow has an X-shaped belly button, whilst the other two have a line around shaped belly button. If you wish to add some dirt spots on your piggies, then refer to this free piglet pattern, free crochet pig pattern, to learn how to do it. And it says, crocheting the piglet, depending on your skill level, it takes roughly an hour to complete crocheting one piglet amigurumi, and the materials and tools required are acrylic yarns in pink and grey, 6mm safety eyes if you're using them, polyester fibre fill, a 2.5mm crochet hook, long tapestry needle, water erasable fabric marker, and scissors and pins. There's the family. It's also essential to understand that some basic crochet terms which are in US that you'll be using for this pattern, and they include chain, increasing, invisible decrease, single crochet, and slip stitch. Like all other patterns, you'll be working continuous rounds to crochet this piglet. For example, once you have completed 6 stitches one round of the crochet piglet's leg, move on to the second round of stitches, and so on. By following the piglet's crochet pattern, you will end up with a lovely 4-inch crib amigurumi piglet. We chose the piglets with 2 colours to give them some contrast. However, feel free to use single colour if you prefer. And there they are, lying on the mummy like they would if it was real. So I just had to show you it. And that brings us to the end. So, what did you like and what didn't you like? Why, what are your things that you would love me to show? Let me know, and I will do my best to cater for everyone that comments and lets me know. No, because I'd like to shape it into what you want to listen to, because now that they are in the region of an hour, I don't want to bore you. I want to show you things that you are interested in doing. So I do need to say that I did have a comment. I'm sorry if you can hear the sirens. There must be police going past. I don't know if you can hear that on the video or not. Anyway, I did have a comment that said that it was an awful video, and that was from my last Free Pattern Friday. I'm not really worried about this because at the end of the day there are a lot of you that do like it, and I'm bound to get some negative ones eventually because that's how the world is. But I would like to tailor it to what you would like to see, so do let me know, and I can take that on board going forward. So like and subscribe. I do Monday, Wednesday and Friday videos, so if you'd like to have a look at my others, if you haven't already and you don't already know what my content is, on Mondays is my episode where I do all of my current things that I've been working on. Wednesday is my whips that I have not been touching for quite some time, and my Friday one is the patterns that I like to show you all, just in case that you're interested in making them. So I'm going to go and rest my voice. Take care, everyone. I am so pleased that you've stuck with me, and if you've stuck with me this long, then thank you very much, and tell me what your favourite is. Take care, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye, lovelies.